It's December 14th, 2014, and we want to know, will the Suicide Squad soon be moving their base of operations to Gotham City?
Does Goth Rapunzel always have the worst day ever?
All this and more is coming up next. It's Season 2, Ep11 of DCR, starting now.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's
Distress Citizens Radio.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the germ-free studios of DCR. Everyone is healthy, fit as a horse here. I guess if horses are fit.
Horses are very fit.
But it is the 11th episode of Season 2 of DCR, and as such, we are going to be talking about DC Comics. I remain your host, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, and I am joined as always, by the man, the myth, the legend, the Punmeister General, Mr. Brian Glein. Hello, sir.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
I'm okay. It's daytime.
Yeah, I know.
We're not doing this at like 3 in the morning.
It's weird.
I'm awake. I had breakfast with Santa. I'm going to go see Santa and have pictures taken later. Then Santa's coming by in a fire truck tomorrow. Santa is stalking me,
Santa.
I think.
I know him.
I know that guy. But we're also joined, because it's just not a show without one of the ladies here, by Brian's better half, the lovely, bubbly, effervescent Miss Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Hello.
You seem preoccupied.
Yes, I'm seam ripping a costume to put a zipper in because, my work is never done.
Apparently, I thought, isn't the show on right now?
Yes. Closing night is tonight, and a zipper broke. So, crap happens. So I'm seam ripping while I am doing this.
Well, while you're doing that, why don't you tell the people what they need to know as far as what we're going to do here today?
We are going to spoil things.
We are? What? In what? What are we going to spoil?
All of their books for this week.
From?
DC Comics.
In what line?
The New 52.
That were released on what date?
Wednesday.
You know what? That fits every week. You could do that any week and it works. But as such, if you do not want your book spoiled, do not listen to this podcast, because we will be talking about the plot beats, storylines, character development, etc., etc. So if you do not want your book spoiled, do not listen to this particular episode. We do have questions, though. We have many questions.
Oh, before questions, I want to say thank you for the happy birthdays from everybody. That was really nice of you.
Hey, not only just from our listening group, but
yes.
I saw Grant Gustin sent you a little extra something there on the Facebook page.
And it almost became my background for my phone.
Reggie
almost.
Hancock, way to go, buddy.
Yes.
It almost did, but you know what? I didn't want Brian to be jealous.
Yeah.
I did tell him that for my birthday, I want him to have lightning abs.
But he did have that half smirk in the picture where he almost had finger guns pointed at you like, hey, Kel, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. I occasionally, will glance back at it. Thank you, Reggie. I love you and hate you all at the same time.
Hush monkeys are amazing.
Yes, quite so. So let's jump into a couple questions here. The first one comes from Wayne Cannon, and he asks, has any explanation or origin story been given for Wonder Woman's bracers? You got me started on that series, and since then I've spread the joy to others, but from my reading, it just seems like she just knows how to use them and that they hold back her god powers? ? Has he missed anything, Brian?
I don't know. Has he?
No, he hasn't. It's been left open as just a plot device, I guess.
It just looks cool when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, we know Hephaestus forged the actual bracers themselves, and that they can form whatever weapon she wants, like energy style. Whomp, they come out and ta-da! I have 2 swords, or whomp, I have sword and shield. And that when she takes them off, she goes all beast mode and tears things up. That's all we know so far. I'm assuming it ties into the whole demigod thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe that just makes her less demigodish. And that's why no one knew she was a demigod, so maybe that was what was masking her demigod powers. That's an easy explanation.
Again, my explanation is still, it looks super awesome when she throws them off and all of her piping goes Tron style. So
Fair enough. That's also a very simple explanation for it. But
like
no,
Cliff Chang just goes, "Hey, can I do this?"
Yeah.
Azrael goes, "Sure, why not? It looks cool."
do it. But yes, you have not missed anything as far as we know. Next question. Scott Manship, which is an awesome name.
It is.
Manship. That's the best. Wants to know if we can add Injustice Gods Among Us to the list of books covered. Why are we not adding more books to the list?
Because I don't like recording at 3:00 in the morning because, we didn't read our
Why would Injustice
book.
make you record at 3:00 in the morning?
Because it's one more book to add to our crazy schedule.
The problem is it isn't just one more book to add. As soon as we start going down that road, why would we not add all of the digital first? Why would we not add all of the expanded? Why would we not add Vertigo? It becomes a slippery slope for us. Where
Why not add Marvel? Just add Marvel.
Because
then I could talk about my new purse. I got an Avengers purse.
Because
for my
that
birthday.
wasn't just a subtle way of getting it in anyway.
Yes, it was.
We really need to cover another 2 hours worth of books so that you can sneak in your comment about your purse regardless.
Yep.
But no, we just have to keep some sort of cap on this. I would love to cover those books. I have mentioned Injustice a couple times myself because I do read it as well. We try to sneak in at least a comment at the beginning or the end on these side books that they're not really side books. They're books all their own, but it's just,
I keep mentioning Super Pets.
Yes, you do. It's just we have to keep a tight scope so that way we can actually cover what we do. Next up, Sammy Jeffrey. I was wondering if you would be able to discuss the DC TV shows in greater detail. I really like The Flash the most, but which shows do you
Me
guys like?
too. I agree with you.
Again, we would love to talk about TV shows. Got to keep the scope tight. But, Brian, your favorite out of the DC TV right now?
Yeah, it's Flash.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly? I need
yeah.
to ask.
Although I will say, Brandon Ruth, however you say it, is killing it as Ray Palmer.
Yes.
He is crazy good in that role.
See, I was all Flash until the mid-season finale of Arrow, and now
Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
so.
my little meter ticked back over to Arrow for right now. Don't get me wrong, they're both way up there for me, but it just kind of flipped over in the last week or so. Gotham is my dark horse, though.
I'm so far behind on Gotham.
It's my dark horse. Poor Constantine, looking like it only got a half a season.
Oof.
So we'll see if maybe that's what they're going to do. They do the same thing with American Horror Story, though, where it just gets half season around the whole.
Sleepy Hollow did something similar too. So.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. Yep. It's been interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's very Monster of the Weekish though right now.
The first season always is.
Yeah, I know, but I always hope.
Yeah.
I always hope. Next up, Alex Myers. He is 14 years old and he wants to know, would you kill the Joker? I'm not saying kill everyone, just the Joker. Batman lacks both a spine and conviction. He is nothing but a boy with mommy and daddy issues trying to prove himself a man. That's some convictions there, Alex. I recommend reading Under the Red Hood. I think that would probably answer your question as to why Batman doesn't do it. I'm sure there's probably better stories, but that's the most recent one that I read where it was that ending with the conversation between him and Jason Todd about, cause Jason Todd was just all ticked off that he didn't kill the Joker after the Joker killed him. And there's a nice little segment there where that argument is actually done. Brian, would you kill the Joker if you were Batman?
The licensing rights alone to all the Joker merchandise would just be silly.
True. I would probably just put out
look
Joker
at
toys.
Yeah.
Which would probably make him even more angry if I started merchandising his stuff to make money to foil his crimes.
I mean, Hot Topic alone, what would they sell? It'd just be nothing but Nightmare Before Christmas. Then what would you have?
That's true.
They also sell Harry Potter and Disney stuff because that's what I buy there.
I know. Just making a joke.
Last but not least, Israel Rizzo. Also, awesome last name. I believe, and my friends think I'm an idiot for this, bad friends, that the new young Slade Wilson will be having his adventures and eventually will find himself woke and discover that he is, wait for it, a clone because he will find the original Slade in a healing tank of liquids. What say you all?
Entirely possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly. I don't know, even when we first read that issue, my whole thing was, isn't Deathstroke's whole thing that he is like the old grizzled veteran guy? That's kind of his niche in the
kind of
DCU. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's not doing too well in Future's End. Right?
No, not at all.
We don't need any more clones.
We need more clones.
No.
If only we had clones of clones. We could go all multiplicity here.
Yeah, they could do the podcast for us.
Yeah, the Xerox of the Xerox.
Hey, I could personally use a clone. That would be really awesome.
I don't know if I want two Kellys running around.
I
know the world doesn't want two me's running around.
I think it would be the best thing ever if there were two of me.
Of course you do, but what about the rest of us?
I don't really care about the rest of you.
Grant Gustin would just be overwhelmed. He can't handle two Kellys.
Well, one can be married to Brian, and the other one can be married to him.
Oh, problem solved.
I guess so, yeah.
That's how you solve that problem.
Although there would be like gladiatorial Coliseum death matches of Kellys on who gets the Grant Gustin. Just giant pugil sticks beating each other down. Okay, you know what? We do need a clone of Kelly now that I'm thinking about it. But that's it. I just wanted to burn through as many questions as we could here real quick. A couple quick hitters. We got plenty more that we'll dig through. But what say we move on forward into this week's books? Top o' the stack. A place where it has not lived, I guess, ever, probably.
Probably not, no.
Probably not. The new Suicide Squad, number 5, Newicide Squad, coming at you from Sean Ryan and then art by Tom Derenick and Rob Hunter. These guys have had a rough go of it. Their first mission since becoming the Newicide Squad did not go as planned. They went to Russia. Deathstroke was on the team. He betrayed them. Deadshot got all beat up. He's got like broken legs and everything. Team not doing so hot, but they've made it back home, and their word has come out now that China, they're putting together their own Justice League, and the US of A, America, cannot let that occur. So who possibly could stop this from happening?
Newicide Squad?
Hey, wow, how convenient. It's in their book. I guess they should take care of it. We get to see the quick, lonely life of Amanda Waller, where she wakes up alone, eats breakfast alone, takes a shower, I guess alone, and then comes to work. It's just very sad. It's like 3 pages of her just like shoulders slumped, head down, just like, and then as soon as she walks through the door, it's shoulders back, head up, on the wall, I own this place, and just dominating everything. So obviously her home life, not the best thing in the world. Sage, the guy that was the Washington correspondent that's been in there.
Not the question. Not the question,
Vic Sage. This Vic Sage is the Washington insider. He has gone back to Washington, D.C. to try to get rights to blow up the heads of the Suicide Squad, so he's not there. So it's Amanda's mission all her own, and she goes to check on Deadshot, who is in physical therapy. They have a little banter back and forth, and then Deadshot asks, okay, you got your mission here. Who's on the team now? Who's going? And she goes, well, we're going to keep Black Manta. We're going to keep Harley. Joker's daughter, we just kind of shuffled her off. We sent her out to a hospital in Gotham. We didn't like her. We don't think the audience liked her either. So off she goes. She's doing her own thing. He's like, okay, well, who'd you get to replace me? Oh, Captain Boomerang. He's coming back. And Deadshot's, of course, not very happy with this. Those two have a pretty contentious relationship. And she's like, and then we filled out the rest with some reverse Flash guy. I don't know. He runs around real fast, but he's on the team now. Huh. And then we literally had a crate of Ninja Man Bats in the back that we're just going to throw on the team. Verbatim, they are treated like, it costs more to feed them than to just send them out to die. So we just threw some Ninja Man Bats on the team. And Deadshot is just like, Ninja Man Bats? What kind of operation are you guys running over there? So I'm assuming that it is now a matter of they're the red shirts of the DCU, because you could just run around Gotham with a butterfly net and restock your supply of Ninja Man Bats in about 15 minutes. It's pretty easy at this point. Absolutely loved it. I laughed so hard just because of how much flack we have given the Man Bats over the years. So it's Man Bats. It's mission time. They infiltrate China with ease. And Black Manta swears this time it's gonna be different. Last time we went on a mission, it all went belly up, but this time I got a team. They're focused. They're ready to do some stuff. And he's like, Harley, are you ready to do your thing? And Harley has just snapped, I guess. And she now thinks of herself as a tween girl who is singing Taylor Swift songs in the back on her invisible iPod. And
I'm shaking. I can't hear it, but I'm shaking my head.
You're shaking it up?
Yes, I'm shaking my head.
Well, haters are gonna hate. And that's what she's doing the whole time. And Black Manta turns back around the bed and he's like, I don't understand it. She was completely lucid last time. She was like the only person that was helping me get this mission done. And Captain Boomerang is just laughing and laughing. He's like, you have not been on the Suicide Squad long. It always goes belly up, man. You just have to realize in 15 minutes time, we're going to be running for our lives. Just realize that. He's like, not this time. I'm in charge. It's going to go fine. So they do their whole thing. Ninja Man-Bats get a 2-page spread of jumping in, hacking up all the guards. Reverse Flash runs in. It's, the uncle, what was his name? I can't recall his name.
Iris's brother.
Yes, Daniel West. It's him, and he's kind of all like, why am I even here? They've given him some sort of drug to like temporarily give him back his speed powers. It's basically whatever the Flash did to block it at the end of that arc. It's removing that block temporarily. He runs in, busts open the wall. The team files in, hup, and they find just vat after vat after vat of these metahumans that the Chinese are cloning to try to make their own Justice League. It's not clones of the Justice League. It's just they're growing their own Chia Justice League, I guess. And the klaxons are going off, wah, 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 and Harley is just so upset because she can't hear her Taylor Swift anymore over the klaxons. So she hits the big shiny red candy-like button on the wall, and the klaxons turn off. But then all of the tubes of these half-baked mutant gloppy creatures that start coming out, and it ends with Black Manta going, but this time was going to be different. As Captain Boomerang continues to laugh. As I said, this is my guilty pleasure. What did I say last month about this? That
it felt like we were writing it.
Not that we were writing it.
It was being written for us.
Kind of. They hold the same sentiments on some of these characters that we do as well, a la Joker's daughter, and it just seemed like there was a lot of very unsubtle, like, oh, Joker's daughter, why are you here? And now this month we get Man-Bats who are out up front doing their thing, and they are a joke in and of themselves that is just kind of like, Man-Bats, oh, come on! Art was a little weak, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little rough in a couple places, which is kind of a dangerous thing when you get a book like this because it is such an action movie oriented style. You kind of need that glossy, flashy art because the action is what is the big ticket item for this type of book, I think. But I don't know. We'll see. I just, again, guilty pleasure. What can I say? Do you know what you have next? Did I send you the list?
I noticed it not that long ago.
Excellent.
So next I've got Justice League United 7. I got my notes done early, so
yes.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, now you send me this.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So Justice League United number 7. Unfortunately, this is at the front of the thing. So the Justice League United and the Legion of Superheroes team up to try to stop Bith from using Ultra from summoning a gigantic space god version of Ultra, the multi-alien named Infinitus.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So, the Justice League United and the Legion of Superheroes team up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's sort of a holding pattern to get into the big battle. So there's just sort of the Justice League United and the Legion of Superheroes kind of interacting with each other.
Oh, come on. There was a lot of really funny scenes in this one.
Oh, yeah. They're like, I love when, like, suddenly, like, Timberwolf and Animal Man both start sniffing something, like, off in the distance.
Yeah,
like,
that
was
the
great.
Space Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
They even call themselves that. Space Wolf Pack.
Yeah. There's a great thing where they are, okay, well, we need to get you into space. We don't want to go through the rigmarole of getting you spacesuits, so we're just going to give you your own Legion flight rings, and we will explain to you how to use them. It's very important that you follow these instructions. And Alana's there, and she goes, well, Adam, what if I have to switch out with Adam all of a sudden, and Sardath, who is just the worst, period. It's like, oh, I will teleport one to him and I will explain to him what to do. And they cut to Adam Strange suddenly getting a ring Zeta beamed on his finger while he's taking a nap.
Yes.
So
no explanation.
Yep.
Nothing. I hope actually napping Adam Strange just
Yes.
appears in space and wakes up to this giant intergalactic war.
Yep.
That'd
Yep,
be really
yep, yep.
funny.
Yeah. There were a few bits where they,
Green Arrow with Telvis, I need your help. My name's Tellis. Whatever, there's like 30 of you guys.
yeah, exactly. That's actually my next point, where I'm just sort of like, there's a few noted flaws in the Legion of Superheroes that we've brought up before. And if you're trying to sell me on the Legion of Superheroes as being cool, you don't need to keep bringing that up. Because it's just this mass of, like, random generic-looking superheroes, and I'm learning nothing new about them except for what their names are, and that some of them are kind of similar to characters I already like and know a lot more about.
Ouch. Ouch. Haymaker right there,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it didn't, like I said, unfortunately, it didn't really do much to sell me on the Legion of Superheroes. All the characters that I already like or know about,
Did you have fun with this story?
I had
Did
fun
you
with-
smirk a couple times?
I smirked
Did you
a couple
laugh?
times.
Did
Yeah.
you enjoy what this story did with those characters? Maybe take
a
the whole
certain-
sales point out of it or trying to
Yeah.
sell you on the character. While you were reading this issue, did you have fun?
Yes, I did have fun
Well,
with
then,
the
I mean-
interactions.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you have to take away that other stuff sometimes and just
Yeah.
kind of look at it and go, I had fun. That's the beginning and the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. I understand that point. I'm looking forward to is it bad that I'm already looking forward to the next Justice League United story where it's just our guys interacting with each other again?
Yeah, probably. You started this one off pretty high.
Yeah, I was super high on it, and man, Legion of Superheroes, who are characters that I want to like, despite all the goofing we've done on them on this show so far, the Legion of Superheroes kind of threw a wrench in the works.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of when you already have a team of mid-tier characters, which a lot of these guys are mid-tier
Yeah.
characters.
They're
not,
our favorite mid-tier characters.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong, but they are mid-tier guys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the focus should be on them before you do throw, aka 30 other people
figures.
into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
scene at the same time. I see where you're coming from at this
Yeah.
point then.
Because I'm like, where's the wacky, there was no wacky interaction between Animal Man and
Well, there
Green
was
Arrow.
one, wasn't there? Yeah.
It wasn't.
Where he asked him if he had a spacesuit arrow that
Yeah,
he could
yeah,
shoot.
but it wasn't the
And he
same
asked him if
back
he
and
could
forth
take on
that
the
normally is.
properties of a space dolphin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just
Wrong
puts-
Lobo for space dolphins.
Yes, definitely wrong Lobo. The Church of the Space Dolphin or the three-finned whatever. I don't even
Whatever it was.
remember.
Yeah.
But all in all, you had fun.
All in all, I had fun. I hope they finish off with bits soon.
Okay. I have a feeling you'll get your wish here
Yeah.
pretty soon, but again, it was just an amusing thing. Just as I said, the Animal Man and Timberwolf sniffing out things and forming the Space Wolf Pack. and
Yeah.
it was just stupid little quirky
Fun little
things
stupid
like
things
that.
if you already like the Legion of Superheroes. It's like, oh, look, here's the characters interacting with them.
Yeah, as an
Yeah.
introduction to him, you're not getting anything.
You're not getting
though.
anything,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And like I said, only so much plot advanced. It was just a series of funny things, and that's not really conducive to this show.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry.
I have to do Harley Quinn every month, which is quite literally a series of humorous things.
Oh, I know. I know.
All right, let's move on then. Earth 2 World's End number 10. Kelly, can you give me a recap of what's been happening in Earth 2 World's End?
The world is ending.
There you go. Apocalypse has shown up and Darkseid wants to, I guess, get two men in a truck
it
and
teleported
move on over.
into the moon and exploded it, didn't it?
It did. So, yeah, Earth 2 doing really, really bad. And below ground, again, as I say each and every week, this is a series of vignettes and a bunch of little stories, so I will be jumping around a little bit. This time, not as bad as others, but stay with me. Below ground, Power Girl, Batman in this case, Thomas Wayne, Valzad, Red Tornado, and Superman? Another Superman that they have found are down there trying to figure out what's going on.
We knew he had that trunk full of Supermen in Darkseid.
We do. And they even say, he kind of explains that it's actually Desaad has been going around in Darkseid and they went back to where they originally died and somehow revived them or cloned them. Even the Superman doesn't know. He just knows that They revived or cloned the Amazonian, aka Wonder Woman, as well as him. They're out there somewhere, who knows? And as they're having their conversation, they're like, well, why would they clone them? Why would they make more of them? These are the guys that stopped them in the first place. Finally, new battle suit Fury Huntress joins the fray and goes, to make more Furies, check out my new design. Roar, I've got 4 arms and wings and fangs and blah.
Really? Okay.
She's got a set of like.
Does she have a cupcake compartment, like a cupcake bandolier?
No, she does not. But she has basically just her regular arms and then like arm wings that come out the back, and she can fly. It looks a lot like Blee's, like the torn up wings.
Okay.
A lot like Blee's with the eyes red and beady and the jagged teeth, and rawr, starts attacking. And
that just seems overly excessive. Like, how effective would the arms being where they are actually be?
Man-bats, that's what they have. They have their wing arms.
Oh, okay.
Squee!
Hawaii man bats? Squee.
Sure, why not? Yeah, it's not very useful, to be honest. It's a design thing. Power Girl says, I'll hold her off. I'm going to save my sister. I'm assuming she's just going to whip out some gelato and be like, don't you remember? And tells the other ones to retreat, and they all start flying away with Superman because he's not doing too well. He looks all weird and bulgy in places, and I don't know if I'm sure it's a decision, like an art decision, because he's got like weird, cloney, like half-finished parts of him, it looks like. So, I don't know. He looks weird, though.
Huh.
Elsewhere, back in Chicago, Barbara Gordon, after being hit by the moon and just getting a concussion, was shot through the spine. She's not going in the wheelchair, though.
Oh, really?
Nope, because she's dead. She's
okay.
Dead. Apparently, the moon didn't do it, but a bullet did, and she is dead. And Dick Grayson's like, no! Camera panning, spinning from above. The horror. A lot of people really ticked off about this move, by the way, that it was Barbara Gordon basically got Fridge to push Dick Grayson's storyline forward. Because this is what happens. It's the gang members are still there, not letting anyone on the train. And that's when Constantine shows up as with his team of Joni Thunder, Obsidian, and Brainwave, kills most of the people as the train's pulling away, and then it's Dick Grayson runs up and hands his child to Constantine as the train's pulling away.
Wise move.
I was gonna say, that's like...
Just say, get my kid out of here while you still can, and then basically Constantine grabs the kid like, okay, whatever.
And then he drops him. I mean, that's all I can see.
It ends
Their
with
kid,
Dick
hold my
Grayson.
cigarettes.
Just don't smoke them all this time. But this time, it ends with Dick Grayson on his knees like, I will find you, son. I will find you, as the train is pulling away. And Constantine just kind of turns back and hands the kid to Joni Thunder and goes, my magic's acting weird. I'm going to leave. Here's a kid. Take care of it. And he teleports away. As we know, what's been going on over in Constantine is because there is a Earth 2 John Constantine as well, and their magic is being split between the two of them. And we'll actually cover that in the next book, when I do Constantine number 20. So Barbara Gordon died so that basically Constantine's team could be handed the kid so that Dick Grayson would have something to do with Wildcat. Assuming Wildcat's going to train him, blah, blah, blah. Move story forward from there.
Okay.
Poor Barbara Gordon in that case.
Poor Barbara Gordon, yes.
Elsewhere, Captain Planet avatars. They're having some issues because the other Furies of Death, War, and Pestilence are basically tearing up the town on them, just destroying them utterly until the old god Blue Avatar shows up and just starts wailing on the Furies. It's a quick little scene where this Lovecraftian god just shows up with tentacles all over, just starts going flap, 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 and beating up the Furies. Yay, old god. I'm sure it'll stop right afterwards and just team up with the other guys and not be an old god trying to consume the planet. Finally, on Apocalypse, the nuclear devices are set, but Barda, who seems to have a motive of her own, convinces all of the others to go find Mr. Miracle down in the Mobius chamber. He went down there to find someone. I don't know what he's doing. Surely I'm not trying to get you to do anything, but you should take those boom sphere things that you got as well. Not that they're going to be needed for anything else, but you should just take them just in case. Yeah, go that way. He's down there. Go do it. So down there, Mr. Miracle is having a conversation with Darkseid, who is in this force field bubble. It looks like he's a regeneration chamber, essentially. And he's trying to save a couple dollars on his therapy bill because he is basically just yelling at him like, speak to me, Dad. Are you not my dad? Why won't you talk to me, Dad? Is it true you're not my dad? Is someone else my dad? Why were you so mean to me then, Dad? It's very, very therapy session for him. And that's when the other ones show up and go, hey, dude, we probably shouldn't poke the cage with Darkseid in it. Let's skedaddle. And Barda goes, no, Mr. Miracle, take the boom spheres and get your revenge. Kill him. So he takes the boom spheres, hits the little bubble that has Darkseid in it, and he's like, Father, I give you death. Boom! And instead, Darkseid comes out of the force field, and he goes, ha ha ha, no, my son, you just gave me my freedom. I was stuck in there. Kind of sucked. I was Darkseid in a bubble. Not the best things. So now it's Darkseid Rises. Again, Barda seems to be working for him or someone else. Again, we saw it in Future's End that she betrayed them on this mission. We know that much. We just don't know what her motive is at the point. But now everyone has to deal with Darkseid stomping around the place. And poor Mr. Miracle just wants to know who his dad is. Yeah. He was probably raised by Constantine. Would have turned out better at that point.
Yeah.
So is he like that duck that goes around saying, are you my mother?
Pretty much, except in this case it's Dad, is that you? Dad, are you my dad? Are you my dad? So let's move on. We're going to keep with the Earth 2 stuff, though, in Constantine number 20 by Ray Fox and Jeremy Hahn. He has found his Earth 2 doppelganger, the other version of him that is splitting his magic in half and making it act all wonky. But this version of John Constantine on Earth 2 basically didn't do everything wrong that John Constantine of Prime Earth did. He never took up magic, so he never accidentally killed his own parents. He's actually in a punk band. All of his friends are still alive because he didn't betray them to demons over the years. Everyone's there in this house, and he's just like, so I guess I made a couple bad calls over the course of my life. And as the two of them touch, because Earth 2, Constantine runs up and goes to throttle him, thinking that he's the reason all this stuff is going south. They both basically share each other's lives. And Earth 2 Constantine goes, hey, wait a minute. This guy is from a different Earth, but on that Earth, he's a wonder. He's a super person. So he could probably get us out of here. Awesome. Can you do it? His parents are coming up to him, his friends. They're like, hey, are you actually a wonder? Can you get us out of here? And he's basically like, I can try. I can do something, but regardless, we're all going to have to work together for even just me to get home. So let's do it. Unfortunately, the streets are in chaos. Apocalypse is doing the whole Final Crisis style broadcast of rage and despair down onto the people of the planet Earth 2, and they are just murdering each other. It is a brutal scene of just people murdering each other in the streets and rage and arson, and it's just bad. Very Hellblazer vibe in Constantine over the last 2 or 3 issues. It seems to be taking a much darker path while walking that line on the super heroic side. So they end up getting confronted by the riot police. Constantine of Prime Earth jumps in front of the tear gas grenade to save his family and ends up fracturing his ribs in the process. And they drag him into a nearby factory where he goes, okay, if we're going to do this, I need all of you guys to draw these types of mystic symbols on every flat surface around here. So that's what everyone does.
Flashcards for them to...
Yeah, sure, why not? He's just like, you draw swirly things. Have you ever seen MC Escher paintings? Just... So, as they finish, he goes, okay, guys, it's time for some real talk from John Constantine of Prime Earth. Let me tell you the truth, because that's what I'm known for. I tell the truth and nothing but the truth. This is all going to cost us something. Magic is not free. If I open this gate and we go through it, we're all going to lose something that we hold dear. I just want to tell you guys that up front. If you guys don't want to go through with it, just let me know. And they're all like, we don't really have a choice. Let's do it anyway. Okay, well, second thing, when I do this, it's like shooting off a flare. And another magic user is probably going to see this flare and show up. And no matter what he looks like, no matter what he says, you can't trust him. Everyone understand. They're like, yep, I understand. And then it's the little thought bubble of Constantine, like, good, they took the bait. Hopefully it's enough of a nudge for all of them to do what I need them to do when this inevitably happens. He starts a spell, and out of the little portal as it's opening up steps Dr. Fate, who goes, World Walker, I've been looking all over for you, man. Finally found you. I'm here to help. And Constantine's just basically like, oh, I hope these guys hate him as much as I do. I hope these guys hate him as much. So it's basically, I guess he's going to run a long con on either his friends and family of Earth 2. Because remember, last issue, he was still having the whole mental debate on whether this Earth is even real. You know what I mean? Like, it's a copy of my Earth. It's not real. I don't need to care about the people here. We've even had that conversation with the multiverse in general. Oh, you don't need to worry about it. It's a pocket universe, guys. I mean, whatever. So he's been having that internal debate already, so I guess it's going to be a telling moment for Constantine in the next issue on whether he's really a right bastard or if he's at least got a streak of some humanity in him.
I think he probably has some humanity in him. He can't be all dick.
I don't believe anyone is 100%. So moving on, that's Constantine. Again, it has a much darker flavor to it, and it's not just weird magic monsters, it's the tone of the book. I really kind of like the way it's turned in the last couple issues, and it's got me hooked again.
Yeah. As a World's End crossover, who'd have thought?
Yeah, exactly. That's the last place I would have put it, but it's working. Yeah. It's working.
All right, going on to my weekly, I've got the New 52, Futures End 32.
32, last of the half.
Yep. 5 years in the future.
5 years in the future.
Yes, we start off in New York City.
New York City!
I was waiting for it.
How many more call-in responses can I do with Sean? All right, so Terry McGinnis, a.k.a. Batman Beyond, and Plastique are busy falling in love and eating pizza. Because apparently there's no pizza in the future?
I guess not.
I'm not quite sure what chain of events lead to that. Like,
that'd be terrible.
Remember, he was from the horrible robot timeline.
Well, yes.
That would be terrible.
Although I guess he would have probably grown up with pizza.
Yeah, I know, right?
You would think. I don't know. Maybe the U-Sphere abomination makes pizza no longer. It runs on pizza, and there's a pizza shortage in the future.
Yeah. Although there's the cute joke that, there's no pizza in the future, but they still have Coke.
Yes.
He's very familiar with Coke still. So, and also, she wants him to get Batman to help, but he can't get Batman to help because Batman told Batman not to get help from Batman, or else Batman would stop Batman.
There's some futures and beyonds and present days that are mixed in there.
Yeah.
You can figure it out on your own.
Also, against Bruce Wayne's wishes, Mr. Terrific announces the release of the U-Sphere, and we're doing it first in New York, because New York's the greatest city in the world. Pander. Yeah. Tell that to those folks in Texas.
Mr. Terrific's kind of like the Jay-Z of this DCU.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he's all about that New York, man. Mm-hmm. All about it. Did you notice a lot of
Let's make them feel more entitled in New York.
Did you feel a lot of contention between Bruce Wayne and Mr. Terrific, though?
Well, look how grumpy Bruce Wayne was in those panels.
That is true. He was a pretty big grump. He was even staring out the window like the vice president, too. Poor guy.
Yeah. Cutting over to California in one of the sillier scenes this week.
Quite.
Grifter is forced to register as Earth 2 Lana Lang's husband so he doesn't get hunted as mass murderer Cole Cash.
Yes.
Despite the fact that he keeps saying, no, I'm Cole Cash. And the register's just like, yeah, whatever, dude. You're from Earth 2. Stop trying to play this stuff. And Lana's just like, come on, honey. Why don't you just tell him who you are?
Yeah, she's completely playing it up. And when we get to next week's books, the cover for next week is just wow.
Oh, I haven't looked at that.
Wow.
So, on Cadmus Island, 50 Sue takes on Deathstroke's mask and is coming for Brother Eye because no one gets to kill Deathstroke but me.
Yeah, because he got his head ripped off by Fury last week.
Yeah.
So I guess she's just gonna go poke Brother Eye in the eye just because now.
Yeah, just because. Back in New York, at Columbia...
You know who she needs to fight? Ninjas.
Well, now she's got the mask, that's all she
Exactly. It should just be, she should have put on the mask and ninjas should have just jumped out from nowhere.
Like,
I had to laugh because on Twitter, I even retweeted it. It was someone asking Tony Daniel if he was bringing over any stuff from Justin Jordan's time on Deathstroke. And Justin Jordan replied with, I recommend ninjas. Lots of ninjas.
So, back in New York, Dr. Yamakaze, he was in the big teleporter explosion. Pardon me. Yes. He's still alive, but now he's like all see-through and magnetic. So he 3D prints himself some Dr. Polaris armor.
Oh, is that who that is?
Thing to do. Yeah.
Okay. I figured he had like the whole magnet head thing, and I was like, apparently he's some sort of magnet guy, I'm assuming.
Yep. Firestorm can't split apart, and now that is Madison Payne and Jason Rush. She can't split Firestorm apart, and since it's too complicated to get help from former Red Robin Tim Drake, who, as we all know, is currently living under the name Mortimer Massingbeard,
No.
they decide to go back to Columbia University and check out how they can split back apart. And surely there will be no supervillain there that can possibly try to stop them.
Not at all.
Excellent call there. Meanwhile, in space, new Stormwatch comes back into Earth orbit when the ant farm suddenly appears. And
Not tiny Marvel ant farm.
not I
in
know,
this
like
case,
actual size ant farm.
which is moon sized.
Yeah.
It looks like.
It appears, and Father Time demands that the engineer helps him stop Brainiac. Hawkman says, "No, you're not taking my robot girlfriend." And so Father Time threatens to unleash Godzilla on them. Because
why not?
Shade captures all the monsters that people don't know about on Earth and just keeps them in the ant farm.
Yeah, why
apparently.
not? That's
So
why
it's
it's moon sized.
Yeah.
So I just love the fact that it's just the little Japanese schoolgirl, because that's the form of Father Time right
Yeah.
now. And him all petulantly stomping on it. If you don't hand her over, I'll release every monster that's ever come
Godzilla,
here.
Gamera, Mecha Godzilla.
I've
all
even
of
got
them.
a giant turtle with a rocket pack.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love that ending. I absolutely love that Shade's getting back involved.
I've been missing Stormwatch and the fact that Shade's involved.
They
Fully,
were
you know.
they were our pull to this series. Before it even came out and all the little solicits that were coming out, it was Frankenstein and Stormwatch, and we were like, oh, look, this is where all these guys are
Yeah.
going. And they've been quiet for a little
Yeah.
bit. They've been quiet for a while, so I'm happy to see the story starting to pivot back towards them once more. Next week's issue, though, is the ballerina Deathstroke.
Really?
Because it's 50 Sue dressed up like a ballerina wearing the Deathstroke mask. It's all color coordinated. Painting pictures of Grifter and Lana Lang as her mom and dad, with her in the middle, like little stick figure pictures, using the blood of a bunch of Cadmus security guards
my God.
on a wall. And I was like, holy crap!
Man.
Yeah! So happy little family over there, I'm assuming.
Oh, man.
So take a peek at that one if you just want to see something that kind of ties together the whole family unit right there.
Yes.
A little bit. Are you... I'm sorry, Kel?
I said,
But it's ballerina Deathstroke. You could do that next year. You have to wear the full mask, though.
yeah.
That's a little rough.
Yeah.
But you do get to wear a bullet bandolier and pouches all over the place with the tutu.
I do have a tutu.
Do you have pouches?
I'm sure I can sew them.
That's right. Because if you're going to do Deathstroke, you have to have pouches.
Ballerinas don't need depth perception.
No, I don't think so. I think they just wing it, pretty much.
Yeah, sure.
But you're still, are you still ups on Future's End?
I'm still up. This is obviously a transitional issue, but I'm still up on Future's End.
Yeah, it felt like a transitional issue as well. It's leading into the third arc, it seems, or the third act in this case. So we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
You end with Godzilla, you got my attention.
Yeah, really.
I'll tell you that much. What do you have coming up for round 2, though?
I've got Batgirl, Green Lantern Corps, and Klarion.
Oh, wow. There's a half for you.
Yeah.
I have Batman Eternal number 36, the Harley Quinn Holiday Special. Jingle those bells. And I will wrap up my half with World's Finest number 29, the super secret meeting, again, of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. Number 2. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go through those books.
Listen.
And we're back! Yes!
Yep.
You say that every time. You need
You
something
point, because
new.
you point at me like I'm supposed to.
No, I'm just telling you that I've turned on the recording things
Oh,
again. Before I came and scooch up to the mic, you're just like, oh, we're back!
Oh, well then. I've been reading this all wrong all these weeks.
But we're in the bat half of the show, which means... Kelly,
Batman is in this half?
That's right. How would you have known that?
Because it's the Bat half.
But we're starting off with our third and final weekly of the week, Batman Eternal number 36. And as we had ended
Wait, there's
last
another
week,
one?
Yeah, there's 3 of them now.
Oh, there's another one?
World's End is one of them, Future's End is one of them, and Batman Eternal is the third one.
God, where have I been?
Not here for a while. You've been sewing. That's what you...
Yeah, I kind of have been caved off.
Everybody work! You couldn't hear over the Viking drums being beat as you were forced to slave labor.
My sewing machine is a Viking, so... Just saying.
So where we had left off last week, it was less of a cliffhanger and more of a careening over the edge of the cliff as the Batmobile had been taken over by Commissioner Bard, and he was remote control driving it out of the side of a building, stories and stories down to its demise. And Julia Pennyworth, Alfred's daughter, is the one in charge of the Batcave right now, and she is panicking trying to figure it out, and then realizes that surely her dad would have built in a couple fail-safes and goes computer override Blue Rose. And apparently it worked or it didn't, but the Batmobile crashes into the ground below in a huge explosion, leaving Commissioner Bard up on the rooftop to be like, yeah, score one for Commissioner Bard, bitches. Woo! That's how you take down a vigilante. And the GCPD, Lucius Fox, Detective Bullock, not too impressed. They were like, dude, we were just gonna catch him. We weren't gonna straight up murder him. We're kind of disgusted with your actions. We're turning
Was
our
he dancing as he was celebrating?
Yeah, he had like fingers up in the air. He was in Yosemite Sam, like, yeah!
I think an Emperor Cusco kind of stuff.
But the cops, Fox, all of them turn their back on him and walk away. This is not what they signed on to do. Vicky Vale and BuzzFeed Joey.
BuzzFeed Joey.
And BuzzFeed Joey are still off in Detroit getting the backstory on Commissioner Bard, and they're talking to the bartender who tells them that years ago, back when this whole Justice League superhero thing was just starting off, there was a time when Bard was just an officer, and his partner at the time was a woman by the name of Jody, and they were engaged. They were in love with one another, and they were called out to a crime and process to bust up this gang and their hideout. And as they came in the door, some fake Batman who just wanted to be just like the Batman he saw on TV, I'm assuming it was someone like me that was like, hey guys, I'm here to get you. How's it going? I won't kick you. Tell me where she is. Came in and distracted them, and in the process, Jody was shot by the gangbangers. So was fake Batman. So was all the gangbangers. Actually, Bard was the only one that survived this entire encounter, and he stumbled back to the bar, still covered in blood, just in complete shock, sat down, ordered a shot of whiskey, and as he was sitting there drinking in shock, the TV came on with the whole end of 0 year type stuff, with Batman standing there. Commissioner Gordon is all going, yeah, this guy helped us out. He's super cool. We're going to not try to arrest him anymore. And Bard basically goes, no, these capes and cowls are horrible. How can they buddy up to him? I need to get over there and save this town. And a doctor by the name of Hush, I guess, ends up seeing him in the bar, taps him on the shoulder, goes, you and me, buddy, we're going to be best friends because I got a similar idea.
Call me Dr. Hush.
No, they don't, actually. Afterwards, though, let's cut back to the present. Bard calls Vicky Vale and goes, hey, Vicky.
Vicky Vale?
Yes, Vicky Vale. And says, hey, this whole thing is over. It's finally done with. I can be honest with you now. I can tell you what's been going on. I finally took down the Batman. And she's like, yeah, I'm in Detroit right now, and I just heard your entire backstory. You're a freak. You're insane. And you're a murderer. I think we're going to need some time apart. And she hangs up on him and says, never call me again. And by the way...
But if she hung up before she said that, he didn't hear that.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Actually, she tells him, you do know you think you killed the Batman. You do know how many people have thought they have done that. He's probably going to show up and punch you in the face any minute now. By the way, we're done. Never call me again. And then hangs up. Is that okay?
Yes.
Are you with me now?
Yes.
And Bard's shoulders slump. The moment of his greatest victory is actually the moment of his greatest defeat. And as he turns around to leave, Batman is standing there and punches him square in the face. And he's like, how How did you do it? He's like, dude, come on, it's me, I'm Batman. The undercarriage dropped out, and I ended up riding the updraft off the thermal of the explosion to safety. Ta-da, I'm Batman. There was like 6 other ways I could have got out of there as well. And Bart is all ticked off, and he's like, no way, I had you that time. I had you. He's like, whatever helps you sleep at night, man. Whatever helps you sleep. Punch in the face some more. And he basically gives Commissioner Bard the whole rundown of, you're commissioner now. All of these deaths are on your hands. Everything that's happened over the last couple of days, your people, all the stuff that Hush did, it's all on your shoulders. And he's like, no, that's not fair. Well, whatever. You're going to have to man up and actually be commissioner of this city. And as Batman goes to leave, he pulls his gun, Commissioner Bard does, and goes, that's it, you're under arrest. And voices from off to the side come in and go, you may want to rethink that. And we see that Batgirl, Red Hood, and Red Robin are there, basically like, haha, sucker, you're outgunned. You might as well just drop the gun. And that's what he does. And they basically threaten him and say, get your act in order or we'll be back for you. And he's like, you can't do that. You can't threaten me. And as they all throw down their smoke pellets and they fade off into the night, they go, oh, yes, we can. We're the Bat Family. We're kind of jerks. They return home to the Batcave, where as soon as they walk in, Julia runs up and gives Batman a big old hug because, phew, I thought I was going to be the reason you died because I didn't know what to do back here at the Batcave. And Red Hood is standing there going, hey, how come Red Hood doesn't get any love? And Batgirl's like, you didn't do anything. I showed up. Come on. And then there's this funny scene where he looks over at the new, cause it's Batgirl on her new design. He's like, nice leather jacket, copycat.
Red Hood has been awesome in this, hasn't he?
He has. He's this great little just smarmy jerk off to the side. And there was a thread on Reddit on why people hate Jason Todd. Why does everyone hate Jason Todd? And one of the biggest things is that he doesn't have a role. He's just kind of a smarmy jerk. That is his role. That's what works. You need that non-perfect guy in there. I mean, Dick Grayson's smarmy, but he's still very, very role model-y. I mean, don't get me wrong. He is still a do no wrong type guy. Mm-hmm. We just saw it in Grayson last week where he would do anything to save this baby's life. He is perfection practically. Yes. Tim
He's
Drake,
the annoying older brother that you will never live up to.
Yes, and Tim Drake is the complete Gary Stu, or Gary Stu, I guess they call it. Just able to do anything. He's Batman Jr. And then Red Hood is that X factor in the middle child that just wants all the attention and can't get it, so he has to do whatever he can to get it.
What are you saying about middle children?
What's that? I'm just saying he puts on a tutu and he does some ballet and he talks about Grant Gustin all the time and
Shut up.
And when are we going to get that Flash Red Hood team up?
I hope soon.
Fun.
I hope soon. I really do. It's an interesting little thing. Again, he just has all the great one-liners and all of it. He is the Jimmy Dean Sausage King of Chicago, and he rides off on his motorcycle. Anyway, back to the book.
James Roman is the Sausage King of Chicago. Thank you very much.
Back to the book. They all go into the Hush aquarium and basically take turns beating up Hush just because.
Man. Vigilante justice.
They're just trying to get the information on who's actually in charge of this whole thing. They thought it was Hush, then Bard, then it was Falcone before. Who is it? Who's in charge? And Hush won't tell them. So then Batman ends up going back to his computer and he has all the little placard things of all the people he's dealt with so far and he's trying to figure it out and Hush is making fun of him like, oh, this is so great. I know who it is and I just get to watch you bumble around like an idiot from the Hush aquarium. Oh, by the way, feeding time! More pellets, please! And that's where we cut to the Riddler, who has put together his own string board with all the same players up on the wall, and he's like, Batman, come on, man, you should have figured this out by now. You're the greatest detective. I guess I'm gonna have to give you a little nudge forward to help you figure this thing out.
Maybe he's just tired.
Some people are thinking it's the Riddler. I don't think so. Because of the clues that have been left behind before, he seems to be aware of who it is, but he's trying to basically tell Batman without telling him, just letting him do the whole detective thing, because that's his, that's how he gets his jollies. He likes watching people figure stuff out, but I guess
maybe also he's just a little disappointed in him.
I think he is, actually.
I think
he actually literally is disappointed with the fact that he has not figured this out yet.
Because,
he hasn't even put together a string board.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first step.
I have not really followed comics, I don't. But it seems like the Joker plays off of, they all play off of trying to, beat Batman.
Well, this is the Riddler.
Or the Riddler, I'm sorry, But it seems like, there's kind of, all of them seem to have an expectation that this is what Batman should be able to do. Okay, Bats, what's your problem? Why aren't you doing this? It's like I'm getting away with something.
It's their arch nemesis. What does it say if your arch nemesis is a bumbling idiot? Like, this is the guy that I have always been my foil. This is the guy that has always stopped me from my crimes and everything. Oh, he's an idiot. What does that say about me? So yeah, I guess a lot of them have that whole self-projection on it as well, where Batman has to be this mythic figure. If they're going to be rivals, that puts them on that same mythic level. Like, yeah, we butt heads all the time. We're equals. And if he's a bumbling idiot, they're like, oh, no, I'm a bumbling idiot.
Yeah. But I think that there's a disappointment, in when he just doesn't deliver.
Batman doesn't deliver.
No.
It's outside of his radius. It's only that 10-mile radius outside the Batcave.
You can do carry out if you want.
That's why Burnside isn't getting any love from Batman. It's Batgirl had to move there. It's outside that circle.
Yep.
Can't get Chinese food or Batman there.
Nope.
It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
Well, I'm sure they've got food trucks in Burnside where you can get some Chinese food.
I'm sure they have
fusion Chinese food.
They have all of the pretentious food trucks lined up outside the school there. And
Riacha walk.
You can get some Icelandic French fusion fish sickles of some sort. So
speaking of Burnside, we've got Batgirl 37.
With her Bat Dazzler.
Her Bat Dazzler, yes. So, we start off, Batgirl is all blinged out and stealing diamonds from pop star Juniper Vega with her little group of hench girl,
I guess.
gal pals, and posting it all over social media and ruining her reputation. She doesn't give a damn about her bad reputation.
No.
So, meanwhile, Batgirl goes and gets a new cell phone from her friend's brother in the science department at the university, Kadir. It's her own Q.
Yes.
I finally put that together. It's her own Q. She has someone that she go to for gadgets. His name is Kadir. Starts with a Q. Fantastic. Perfect. Just perfect. And then her and her friends go to the new Dagger type art show.
Yes.
If that is not the most delicious art nerd pun humanly possible, thank you so much, Cameron Stewart and Brendan Fletcher.
Why is that a delicious art pun?
Daguerreotype, the first type of photography.
Ah,
yes.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
So changing it to dagger type as an evil, villainous art maven in Gotham. Oh, mwah.
Is it better than what was the other one that you like, Crime Nouveau or whatever?
Oh man, Crime Nouveau. Oh my gosh, I know
maybe,
what I'm writing.
Dagger
I know what
part
I'm
of Crime Nouveau.
I know what I'm writing when I go home. It's the dagger type Crime Nouveau team up. So it's a bunch of trashy Batgirl pictures, cause she's so hot right now, and oh look, she's dressed
so hot right now.
Yes, yeah. So Batgirl's so hot right now, and so it looks like a who's that creepy guy that always does pictures for Rolling Stone, and everyone gets skeeved out by them.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah. Got a really boring name.
Skeevy Rolling Stone guy. That's what he looks like.
So it looks like a bunch of trashy, Rolling Stone things that people are all shocked and offended by. And she's like, oh my gosh, what is this? I didn't model for those. And then off in the corner, there's a picture of Batgirl crippled in a wheelchair. And she's like, okay, what the hell's going on here?
This is a little too close.
This is a little too real. A little too real.
Although Black Canary just steals this book.
Oh yeah,
this book.
She is so mad. She is so mad and passive aggressive with Batgirl right now.
But just making fun of her the entire time, like, "Wah! Look at this! You're such a noob."
Yep. So
I feel like I missed something.
Batgirl accidentally burned down the condormitory.
Well, yes, I knew that, but it's like how she became blinged out and all,
Well, we're getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be explained actually momentarily.
That's the next thing, yeah. So, there's another Batgirl. It wasn't really Batgirl at the beginning. There's another Batgirl that's posing as her. Barbara had already been receiving messages from someone claiming to be Batgirl.
Yep.
Telling her that she knows who she is. And so she tracks this Sparkle Batgirl to a bridge thanks to hidden notes in the pictures. Because apparently all the actual weird Vogue style poses that the model Batgirl was doing was like actually
Sign
sign
language
language of some sort. Yeah.
It's like doing the YMCA.
Kind of. It was
Where is she? I don't know.
but because she's so yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. Yeah. They fight and there's a scuffle and fake Batgirl loses her mask and it's Dagger Type.
Yes.
Who's a dude.
Who has been dressing up like Batgirl.
He's been dressing up like Batgirl because Batgirl's so popular right now, he's going to steal her brand.
No, Batgirl's so hot right now.
Batgirl's so hot right now. Yes. He's pretending to be
Batgirl won the Slashy. I bet you didn't know that. The model slash actress.
I know. Model slash superhero. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so he's pretending to be Batgirl so he can kill her and take her place. There's a fight. Batgirl loses her own mask, and Kadir can't make her a new one in time for them to meet up and deal with the whole Dagger Type issue. So Dagger Type is going to hold a Batgirl unmasking, and it's him! And the crowd spots a fake from a mile away, so he pulls a gun on them. Don't you understand my artistic brilliance? I'm going to work with Kanye West. Yes. I'm doing his next video. I'm important. Bang, bang, bang. Starts firing shots into the audience. Dagger Type is my new favorite villain by a long shot. So Barbara comes at him and in her street clothes, and one of the tricks of her fancy new cell phone, it has a blinding flash on it.
Yes.
So most flashes are kind of blinding.
Yeah, this one's an ultra flash.
Yeah, so she blinds Dagger Type, tackles him behind the curtain so she can, go Batgirl on him without him realizing who she is. And she starts, beating him up and she's like, why with a wheelchair? Why? He's like, I don't know. My patron just told me to put it in there. It didn't match my aesthetic at all, but I did it.
It's the sacrifice I had to make to my artistic direction just so I could pay for it all.
Yes. So cops bust in to save the citizen, but they realize, oh, that's the commissioner's daughter. We'll pretend we did this, but a good job there, Barbara Gordon.
Well, not only that, but
and she also gets to flirt with Liam, the hunky police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah, look out, old professor. You get all flush when you're around her, but she gets all flush when she's around him.
Well, that's in the Future's End issue, that was the one that she was marrying.
No, his name was Steven in the Future's End issue.
Was
I went back and looked at it, yeah.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah,
Pulling back.
Take
Retreat.
that. Yep, Future's End didn't really happen. So
it's a detective and a professor.
Detective and a professor are her leading.
Gotcha. And they all have love bubbles. That's all we know is they all just have heart bubbles over their heads.
Yep. So after this, she decides to take control of her own internet search optimization.
Yes.
I guess.
SEO.
Yeah, and starts up her own pictogram account as the Batgirl of Burnside, so no one else can imitate her online.
So now we have the DC equivalent of Tinder and the DC equivalent of Instagram.
Yes.
And we already had the DC equivalent of YouTube, which was Super Fail.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to last.
I don't think that's going to last
coming
either.
Back, yeah.
I think.
And then we have BuzzFeed Joey, but that's BuzzFeed's a thing.
Yeah.
So
I think it was MeTube.
Yeah, I think that was what they ended up calling it.
I think that's what Booster Gold used back in the day.
Well, then I'm gonna say that Super Fail was Vine then.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
They did use it just to have a recurring loop of Blue Beetle pimp slapping his girlfriend, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds more like Vine.
Yeah.
So,
Batgirl. Freaking amazing.
Style. Still losing that style. It's losing some people, though, I will admit.
Well, then they can sit on it.
No, it is aimed at an entirely different demographic. You can't say it isn't.
But they are building a rogues gallery. It's just like they're hitting all the proper beats to establish like a new it's being done so well.
It is.
I love it.
It is being done very well. I absolutely enjoy it.
After years of us complaining about there being too many Batman books, my favorite Batman books are now all of the ancillary Batman books.
Yeah.
Or my favorite books, period, are all the ancillary Batman books.
It's just because she's
Gotham
not
by
wearing
Midnight,
tight clothes. That's why.
I guess.
But that Gotham Academy. Bleh.
Oh yeah, Gotham Academy. That's the third one. I almost forgot about it.
No, they're doing wonderful things, and it's good to see.
Now, if we could just get a fun, quirky, non-Batman book, I'd be so happy.
As we've said many, many times, not all the books should be aimed at us or you.
Yeah.
the listener in particular.
These three just happen to be aimed at me.
different strokes and different folks, or however that saying goes.
Mm-hmm.
With
I'm still gonna
folks.
tell people to sit on it, though.
Stokes. Anyway, moving on. I have a little bit of Christmas spirit to inject into this show because everyone who knows me, knows I am all about the Christmas.
Yeah, the Grinch who won't let Christmas enter his office.
But it's not allowed in my office. That's why there are no decorations in the office when the doors are closed.
When the doors are open, there are Christmas decorations in your office.
That is because Beth is a mean person.
No, you need Christmas
Who is
spirit.
Vanna Whiting up her decorations right now? So I'm going to inject a little bit of holiday fun with Harley Quinn Holiday Special #1. The main problem with this one, it was pretty expensive. It was an $8 book.
Really?
Yeah, not exactly what I would launch at Christmas time, but
Jeez.
No, that's
people are a little
expensive.
tight on the wallets already. It's got a lot of pages. It's basically 3 stories in one book, which is why they charge the $8. But that hurt my wallet this week. I will say that much. Let's do it here. We have 3 little short stories. Short story #1. Remember how she freed all of the animals from the pound?
Yes, Pee Wee Herman style, yeah.
Yes, and took them in to live on one of the floors of her tenement building. Well, she didn't get them all spayed and neutered like the Price is Right told her to.
Oh, no.
And they have all given birth to scores and scores of puppies. Scores of them. And they're like, oh boy. My bad.
So they have a Dalmatian plantation going on here?
Pretty much. And they try to figure out a way to do it. And the little short guy goes, hey, why don't we just go down to the mall and we'll just sneak them into people's baggage there and they can just take them home. And she's like, okay, that'll work. So they dress up like elves, go to the mall and literally help people carry their bags to their car and just kind of slip puppies into the bags as they're driving away until they get to the last one, which is a little pug-like guy that Harley has formed this bond with. And she's so sad to see him go, but she has to, so she puts him in the car, but then decides she's going to follow him to his new home to make sure it's good enough for him. It's Christmas Eve. She breaks into the house. She finds the puppy under the tree, so obviously they found it, decided to give it to their kid or something, and she's playing with the puppy, and she ends up cuddling with it and falls asleep. The next morning, the kids come downstairs, or the one kid, this daughter, comes downstairs with the family, and they're like, what? Because there's just wrapping paper everywhere, and a half-naked elf girl laying on the ground with a puppy, and the little girl is elated. Elated. She saw the toy. She knows how this works. She gets to keep this girl as her toy now. Best Richard Pryor. Love that movie. Anyway, it's this weird dynamic where it's the aunt, the dad, and the daughter. The mom has died, and this kid is a holy terror. Just completely demanding, always getting what she wants. And the father goes, hey, I'll slip you a couple $100 off on the side if you just stay, but then make her hate you so much that she just wants you to leave. If you can do that so I don't have to be the bad guy and make you leave and take you away from her, that'd be cool. And she ends up befriending this little girl. They have like crazy adventures where they eat too much candy and throw up on each other and, the usual Christmas morning stuff. And then there's this sad part where she puts on her psychiatrist glasses and just goes, okay, well, her mom died on Christmas Day because her dad sent her to return a tie that he got that morning. And it was...
Wait, who returns anything on Christmas?
They have a social commentary section in this about how it's because these damn stores are open on Christmas Day and blah, blah, blah.
But why would you actually go shopping on Christmas?
Well, that's why the little girl blames the dad. So Harley Quinn decides she's going to help bring this family together by chasing them around with an axe and threatening to murder them.
Seems legit.
Until the father actually comes out and protects the daughter, and the daughter feels that the dad is actually willing to, loves her enough to put himself in harm's way, and both of them think that they pulled a scam. The dad thinks she did it to make it so that she would make Harley go away, and the daughter thinks she did it to make it so that they would be closer together. And she ends up leaving and going home where her friends, her entire supporting cast, Poison Ivy, Shang Tsung, or what's his name? Egg Foo, I guess. Yeah. All of them are there, and they've thrown a big Christmas party for her. Yay, Christmas! Second story is a lot easier. It's very quick to do. Harley needs to enlist the help of Santa Claus to remove Christmas music from her head because a humbug has infected her ears. Yeah!
All right.
It's cute. It's the little humbug looks like a Grinch insect that crawls in her ear and just hums Christmas music at her. And, that's what gets stuck in her head. So Santa has to use candy canes to lure it out. It's a cute little story. It's a kid's Christmas story with Harley Quinn.
I think there actually was a supervillain called Humbug.
Was there really?
I don't remember if it's Marvel or DC, but I'm pretty sure there is, and that made me take pause for a moment.
Fair enough. Third and final short is actually drawn by Darwin Cook, which kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Harley Quinn notices she has a gray hair and decides she must stop the future march of time so that she does not get any more gray hair. And everyone fills her in on the whole Father Time, Baby New Year myth. And
it's called hair dye.
No. Harley Quinn would never use hair dye with her red and blue hair.
Just touch up your roots. You'll be good.
So she looks up and finds this old dude named Harold Time at the local hospital and visits him just as he's being visited by his kids and their grandkids, including their newborn grandson. And she puts one and one together and figures out that that's Father Time and Baby New Year and has to stop this all from happening when the baby actually just rips out the gray hair. And she goes, "Oh my God, you turned back time. You're the greatest Baby New Year ever," and struts off into the street proclaiming that this is going to be the best New Year's ever in the weirdest panel of this whole thing where it's just her all happy marching down the street going, "Best New Year's ever." And there's murders happening in the background, fires, dead homeless people freezing on the streets, and then just some dude naked wearing a barrel with a sign that says "Happy New Year, bitches." And I was just like, what?
So she couldn't just pluck out the hair herself.
No,
it had to be Baby New Year.
Well, the baby turned back time. It didn't just pluck out the hair. It reverted time for her and turned back the clock. Yeah. They were cute stories. I mean,
Brian.
it's a, if you want to get in the holiday spirit with a couple chuckles, that's what it is.
A couple murders.
Yeah, a couple murders. That last panel is just so weird. It just didn't fit at all. So anyway, moving on.
All right, Green Lantern Corps 37. We're continuing Godhead.
Is there any Christmas cheer in this one?
Not so much. So, Highfather is transforming lanterns into New Genesis Army slaves with the life equation. And he's just sort of, they've got a big old, Green Lantern aquarium where they've just got,
cool.
different pods of, random assortments of lanterns. It's just like a grab bag. It's he's just, opening up, he's, hitting a button, a door opens up, a, little, heaping helping pours out, an M&M, machine, quarter machine. It's I got only green lanterns and one yellow lantern. Oh, I wanted an orange.
Oh, I guess I gotta put another quarter in there.
Orange.
Yep. So, and they just okay, you're slaves now. And then he comes to
easy.
Yeah, he comes to one that has Jon Stewart and Sinestro's team in it. So he's okay, well, join my team, by your own volition, or I'll just, hit you with my little thing anyway. And they defy him, and he goes to transfer them, but Malhedron turns on Highfather and saves them. Just kind of hits him with his big old Malhedron
wonky
hammer.
Stick, yeah. But why does he do so, Brian?
Well, because he used to work, he comes from Apocalypse, he used to work for Darkseid, he was a despot, and he's well, I'm kind of tired of working for despots, and I came here because I thought you weren't one, and you're just turning into one yourself, so...
Just a despot for order instead of a despot for chaos.
So screw you guys, I'm going home.
But not actually home, because there's a despot there, too.
Yeah. So they go off, and Jon Stewart says, okay, we've got to regroup. I've got a plan. Transport me out there with your mother box there, Malhedron. I'm going to be an assassin on New Genesis, and I'm going to make their lives a living hell until they stop doing this by just kind of going...
insurrection.
Yes. But Ooga is going to stop him. So he goes Ooga into throwing his unstoppable hammer at his unstoppable shield, and the shield breaks, and Ooga's just haha, my unstoppable hammer's better. And then Jon Stewart goes, haha, you just threw a hammer at me, and now I've got an unstoppable hammer. Bam, bam, bam. Now I have a hammer. Ho, ho, ho.
I did like that panel right afterwards where he's yeah, and you just gave your unstoppable hammer to me. And then in the next panel is Ooga going, Oh, damn it.
Yeah. For Christmas spirit, Jon Stewart has a hammer. Ho, ho, ho.
And he's going to lead the insurrection on New Genesis.
Yep.
Which I'm assuming he just figured that it was not going to be a very good insurrection if he had a Catwoman deep cut pink shirt on with the thigh high stiletto boots as well. So, and that's why he's not a Star Sapphire, like he was 2 issues ago or an issue ago.
1 issue ago in this comic, yeah.
Yes, he just went, if I'm going to lead an insurrection, I need to look all like green and black, like, commando style.
Mm-hmm.
But, the go-go boots aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll just put this in my pocket, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, off camera, I guess he just switched back to green.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens there. That was kind of a little jarring for me, I'll be honest.
There's a bit where, like, Hal Jordan had a blue and a green ring, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was sort of split down the middle.
Yep. So, they can do it.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. That's the fun of comics. They can just be like, I don't know, just his left toe is pink and everything else is green. I don't know. Why not? Just cause. He's just got, his heart grew 3 sizes, and that's why he had the pink. But now it's shrunk back down to normal Jon Stewart.
On account of the,
sniper assassin.
Yes.
Then he turned green like the Grinch.
Yes. Grrr. Stealing Christmas from New Genesis. Hey, there you go. Green Lantern Corps. What'd you think of the art in this one?
Pretty good. I mean, a little choppy because we had a couple different artists in there, but.
Yep. It's the main thing I always look forward to in this particular thing.
The coloring held everything together.
Yeah, it did.
Enough.
It did.
Yeah, they did a good job.
At least to kind of harsh over some of the differences in the art.
Yeah, it's like you still got the, monochromatic action shots and stuff, so.
Yep.
Worked for me.
So I probably should have bundled this in with the Earth 2 stuff, but since it happens before all the Earth 2 World's End stuff, I just kind of tossed it over here. And that's World's Finest, number 29, detailing the past of Earth 2, back when the Trinity was still just getting started. Basically, the Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman of Earth 2 having their adventures before everything went to hell when Darkseid showed up. And years ago, on Earth 2, these alien probes start showing up. They look very New Goddish, but Superman's trying to stop them all until one explodes, and he ends up getting knocked down to Amazonia, the Earth 2 equivalent of Paradise Island / Themyscira / whatever you want to call it. It's where Wonder Woman and the Amazons live. And she is confronted by Wonder Woman and the Amazons, and he's like, I know you, don't I? I've seen you before, lady with a sword who's poking me in the neck. She's like, nope, you don't know me. We're going to take care of our own. Now get your little male butt off of our island. And he goes, okay, whatever, and flies off. But I could have swore I knew you. Really attractive, but I'm pretty sure I know you. Now in Gotham, Lois Lane is chasing down the myth of Batman and finally actually finds him as he's about to go in and bust up this gang warehouse. And as Batman goes in, he's late because someone else is already there, and that's Catwoman, who's beating up all the gang members in there and is stealing the gems for herself and goes running off, and with Batman in close pursuit right behind her. And as they're jumping across the rooftops, Catwoman actually stops and waits for him to catch up, and they have their little flirty banner, flirty, flirt, flirt, flirt. And then Catwoman goes to leap away like, haha, I got the last word in. And as she's doing so, basically Superman just kind of grabs her by the back of her shirt and goes, nope. Hey, Batman, you dropped this. And Batman's like, dude, you make me look bad. You didn't need to do that. And he's like, nope, it's cool. And he takes the pouch of gems off of Catwoman, and she's like, those are my gems. And Superman's like, not anymore, and hands them over to Batman. He's like, yeah, a little awkward. Those actually are her gems. That's Selena Kyle. She was using them to kind of lure out these gangbangers. So here's your gems back, Selena Kyle. You can set her down. And she's all indignant and just kind of skips off on her own with her gems, just yelling back, going, you're going to pay for this, Bruce Wayne. Not like threateningly, just like, oh, we're going to have sexy time later and you're going to pay for it. And, and Superman is just kind of sitting there rubbing his head like, are you going to explain that to me sometime? Or no, okay, whatever. So he goes, the reason I'm actually here, I found this alien probe. And he's like, oh wait, I set it down like 50 miles that way. And he flies off, flies back with the probe. And he's like, and I thought maybe you could do like your little detective thing that you're good at and kind of figure out what it is. And Batman starts picking away at it. And he's like, wow, this is alien, really advanced. Don't know what it does, and then all of a sudden, boom, this boom tube opens up, and out steps Intri, the new god from Apocalypse, who has been showing up quite a bit in this book.
Yeah.
Trying to draft Superman over to the dark side. And she shows up, and Superman's looking at her like, wait a minute, no, I know you too, don't I? She's like, yeah, you know me. I'm a new god. You're a god too. You should come hang out with me on Apocalypse. He's like, I'm not gonna do that. You look mean. I remember you being mean. And she goes, that's fine. Whatever. I wasn't here for you anyway. I'm just here to pick up the probe. Kind of just takes it and boom tubes out. Very weird little show up. And Batman's sitting there like, are you gonna explain that to me sometime? And he's like, I wish I could. I keep seeing sexy women everywhere, and I know them from somewhere, but I feel like I have like Hal Jordanitis, just recognizing all these sexy women that seem to know me, but I don't know them. I would assume that would be Hal Jordanitis.
Well, on top of that, number one, all the ladies he hangs out with. Number two, all the times he gets hit on the head. Of course he wouldn't remember that.
That is true. So he ends up just sitting there, Superman. Batman leaves. Superman's just sitting up on the rooftop, thinking really hard. Where do I know all these sexy women from? And that's when Lois Lane shows up, and their relationship is obviously already established here because he's like, oh, Lois, thank God it's you. I have had a weird day. I saw this sexy lady who said she was a demigod and said I was a god, but I wasn't allowed because I have a penis, so I had to leave. And then this other god lady showed up and said she was a god, that I wasn't a god, but I should go hang out with gods. And she was sexy too, but she was totally cruel. And I'm just happy you're here. And they start hugging each other. It was very funny because Lois just kind of takes it all in stride, like, okay, another day for Superman, just extra sexy women involved, I guess. Good job. I like the past stuff. I do. It has a feel to it that works. I'm assuming this is much more the old pre-52 style for these characters. Just the buddy best friends hanging out all the time.
Yeah. That's older, but yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I will say one of my most favorite things on Brave and the Bold is the time when Catwoman had him and Green Arrow in a death trap.
Yeah.
And Green Arrow, it just slowly dawns on Green Arrow, like he's trying to escape and Batman's just saying, wait a minute, are you flirting with the supervillain that's trying to kill us? Oh my God.
Will you stop doing that every time Catwoman shows up? So why don't you wrap up this week's show for us, Brian?
I've got Klarion number 3.
Is that what I put last? Really?
Yeah.
I guess I did. Huh.
Yep. So, we ended last time with Klarion and Goth Rapunzel making out at the Moody Museum.
The mood.
When she started strangling him with her hair and they explode their magic training room. They then,
hair does that? It just explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, magic explosion.
I mean, it does, bring people to life in the actual movie.
Yes. So, they then notice a rasp creeping on them. But also his buddy bot that he ate and then it drilled out of his hand is now a growing spider that's feeling him up and then turns into a robot girl that wants to fulfill his every desire. And that's a weird thing that's happening.
And I love how Clarion's just like, hey, does anyone else kind of weirded out by this whole thing?
Yeah.
I should probably just kill this robot thing, right?
Yeah, everyone's just accepting this. Yeah, and then they also keep saying, oh God, we're going to have to get Rasp to unplug, possibly in the very literal sense soon. We're going to need to track down who made this buddy bot thing. Surely it wouldn't be the techno wizard people that we were just attacked by not but 2 issues ago. Yeah, so meanwhile, at the Pit of Ultimate Darkness, aka the Necropolitan Club, Cole and Necrot are talking about just how evil their buddy bots are and the evils of advertising and free samples. I love the fact that these evil cyberpunk hell monsters have a boring dad that they gave a wife bot to. Like, this is so weird. And I love how they just have regular board meetings. Like, this is just a company that they're running. They're like, well, our advertising budget's a little high already. I think if we just hand out free samples, we'll really see a much better return on investment. And they're all like, man, we're evil, by the way. Evil. So, also for some reason, Piper teaches the kids about bees. Rasp doesn't like bees. They sting. Klarion doesn't like bees. They're annoying. Rapunzel likes bees because they hum.
Brian doesn't like bees
know.
either.
So they're humbugs?
I guess so. They are humbugs, literally. We also meet Agent Lush Moody. She has like 4 eyes crammed into her 2 eye sockets. Mm-hmm. Little creepy. She's like a witch cop, and she has witch hunt guns.
Sure.
And I guess her dad made the Moody Museum, since why else would you have 2 things called Moody in the same book?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Klarion and Goth Rapunzel crash a back alley buddy bot giveaway hangout for children.
What?
I'm sorry.
And Cole and Klarion have words and then magic spells as they fight each other. And then Agent Moody and the Witch Cop show up. And then Demon Barber Beelzebub shows up in a getaway car to help Klarion.
What?
And then we immediately cut away to Piper and Noah naked in bed, agonizing about whether they should go help the kids or keep having sex. And that's the end of the book. And guess what, everybody? And guess what, everybody? It still kind of works, and it's insane.
McCarthy is the reason why it works.
Yeah.
By far.
McCarthy is doing...
He is doing some amazing artwork to
amazing
tell the story,
artwork.
to fill in some of the gaps that may otherwise be missing.
Maybe. Yeah, the design of the pages is gorgeous. And he's slowly making, there's some, like the one that you see in the backup in all the books this week.
Yes, I did notice
Like,
they got the actual back cover there.
Yeah. And the design of Klarion with like a polo shirt with like a random thing like screen printed on it and like a cape made out of another t-shirt.
Yep.
That looks terrible. But in the book, he's like kind of refining it and making it look a lot more normal.
Yes.
And when Klarion goes full witch mode and those awful looking hair spikes turn into actual horns, it really works and sells the whole bizarre thing. And I do like that. Amongst all this craziness, Clarion's the normal one.
He is. He's the weirdest
He's the one who like keeps like looking at the camera. Is like, wait, this is weird, right?
Why am I the only person weirded out by what is happening here? I know I grew up in like this weird Puritan Salem witch cult thing.
Yeah,
but this is weird, right?
And like it's supposed to be our New York, but yet every single location is on the corner of like an actual New York street. It's like at the corner of like Bowery and Ennui, you know?
Yes.
It's like Fear and West 86th Street. Like that's where all this stuff is happening.
So I'm surprised as you are. I'm assuming that it actually...
It's like taking all the bonkers stuff we love and yet making it work in a way that doesn't make us... Yeah, it's surprisingly fun, everybody. I'm as confused and surprised as you are.
This is the best backhanded compliment. It's surprisingly fun, I think.
I love the fact that I still get to make my ridiculous statements about back alley, children's buddy bot giveaways, but... it's the seediest alley, and it's like a mom with their kids. It's like, oh, look, let's give you this surprisingly chipper robot dog. The robot dogs were amazing in this book. Also, yes. I didn't even mention the robot dogs.
Robot dogs.
Robot dogs.
That's how they're going to try to sell them to the normies, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, you have to ingest the pill and make it drill out of your body, and that's why I was like, why are these parents bringing their kids here?
Yeah. Wait. So it has to come out of you?
Yes, it drills out of your flesh and becomes your best friend.
That's disgusting.
Because it's got like part of you in it or something?
Yep.
Oh, that's...
Like it replicates using your biodiet? I don't know.
So can't you just take a piece of hair off your head? And...
Nope. Gotta ingest it, and it has to drill out of you. And that's why Klarion, when the body bot's there, it's like... Shouldn't we just kill this thing? It just drilled out of his body. He's got a gaping hole in his hand. This isn't right, isn't it? So it's hitting. It is totally filling.
Kelly is writhing in agony over there.
That's so gross.
But it's scratching that itch while still being a different level of quality, I think.
Yes.
And as I said, McCarthy's got a lot on his shoulders, and he's carrying a heavy load with this book, though. And able to do it, which I figured he would after his being the backup for J.H. Williams III on Batwoman.
Yeah,
which was just style incarnate when it came to to the art in a book. If you're gonna try to ride shotgun with that, you have to be able to basically hold your own.
Yeah,
and he's more than proven that fact. So. That's it though. That's all of our books for this week. Now I remember why I put that last. I just wanted to end on a happy note.
Yeah.
So So as a reminder to you guys, you need to do your part. Kelly, what do they need to do?
Buy the books.
Buy these books. I know it's Christmas time. I know you're po. I know you don't have no money. Because I don't have no money either, especially after Harley Quinn this week. But if you go out and buy them, they will continue to make them. So if anything sounds interesting,
you don't have to buy them. You tell somebody else to buy them for you. Yeah, it's the Christmas season.
It's the season of asking.
Exactly. So you could say, hey, all these trades and all these books that I have and I want, give them to me, please.
Check out my Amazon wish list.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, buy them for other people too. There's plenty of books that aren't even running right now. If you have a kid that you want to try to get into comics, pick up something like Vibe or the Nouveau book even from, you said, what's it? Rocket Raccoon turned around pretty quickly there.
The latest issue of Rocket Raccoon is really good for kids.
Yep.
We're buying My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, trade number 1 for our friend's daughter because she is so into My Little Pony.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff.
So into My Little Pony.
It doesn't have to be DC. Just, they are the next generation. Get them something they might like. Don't throw them freaking Dark Knight Returns when they're 8 and be like, read this.
Top Shelf Kids Club. Amazing stuff for younger kids,
Just, and if they're reading age, it will make them want to read it.
Exactly. So fun is the word. That's what you want them to have, is fun. So make sure you kick it out there. And for the adults and stuff like that, there are plenty of other stories. Vertigo has quite a few. Image is just cranking out some books right now. DC as well. Obviously, we have fun every week covering their stuff. And Marvel, obviously. So it's, give it a shot. Find something that you think they might like and let other people try out a book, maybe.
I enjoyed Fables. It's
and it
like
gets you out of trying to find a different Christmas gift because you're just like, here, try this book. And
yeah.
You're done. You just wipe your hands and scratch them off the list. So make sure you go out there and support the hobby because if you don't buy them, they don't make them and nobody wins. Next week, we're back up in book number.
Ooh.
Not as bad as the week following, and we'll talk about that in a second. But next week, we get The Multiversity Thunderworld.
Oh, man.
Number 1. The world of Captain Marvel, or Shazam as he is called now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be Captain Marvel in this one.
Yeah.
But, yep. We also get Justice League number 37, continuing with the Amazovirus stuff. Earth 2 World's End number 11, with Darkseid just basically raffle stomping everyone in his path. New 52 Futures End number 33, as I said, Ballerina Deathstroke. Can't go wrong, scrawling pictures with blood. Teen Titans number 5, Trinity of Sin number 3, Wonder Woman number 37 looks to be attacked by birds? I don't know. Supergirl is finally unchained in number 37. She's breaking free of those chains. Like Prometheus? Didn't he break chains or something? Someone broke some chains. What's that?
Or Wilson Phillips.
Batman Superman number 17 gets a guest appearance by Sexy Time Lobo. Batman Eternal number 37. Batman number 37 continues Endgame with part 3. Hellbat Armor versus Darkseid and Batman and Robin number 37. Batwoman number 37. It looks like Clayface is going to join her squad of misfits in this particular issue. Catwoman number 37 has the super stylistic gang time fun. I think I'm taking that one off you this week. Red Hood and the Outlaws heads to the bar in issue number 37. Green Lantern, New Guardians number 37. It looks like Highfather built the Statue of Liberty of himself holding up his little life equation rod and holding his helmet. So we welcome your meek and humble so that I can bazat them with my ray gun and turn them into soldiers of Highfather? Yeah, sure, why not? Well, that's it. That's all the books. Just 16.
A lot of books.
8 apiece. We're used to that. Not the worst we're going to get. The week following, though, Christmas week, DC is basically saying, we don't want to release much in between Christmas and New Year's, which is understandable. So we have 22 books that week.
I'm feeling sick.
Yeah.
I won't be here.
We're actually in conversation on whether we're going to split that in half or just plow through it in a shotgun style and just give you really high level overviews of all of them. We'll figure it out and probably let you know next week and go from there. If you do want to contact us though, if you want to write us some questions, if you want to mock us, make fun of us, poke the bear, so to speak. Don't poke it too hard because it'll wake up and maul Kelly. But
Yeah, no mauling.
you can do so by doing what? Kelly.
Typing DCR podcast
I was gonna
into
say, don't mess it up.
typing DCR podcast into the internet.
Yeah, there you go. You're good to go. Or you can email us at feedback@tcrpodcast.com. You guys have anything before we take off for this week?
No, that'll be it.
Yeah, Kelly?
No.
You
No,
good?
not really. I have stuff to do. I got a zipper to put in.
Okay, fair enough. Grant, give her a call when you're free. She'll take it. Don't worry. As for us, though, enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, and we're going to talk to you next week.